Good morning, one and all. This is B.himabindu, lecturer in commerce from TTRDC Kottagudam at Palvancha. Okay, today my topic is business statistics. In that, I can explain the collection of statistical data. First, you know that what is meant by statistics and what are the importance of statistics. Why are using these statistics? Statistics is a disciplined systematic body of knowledge. Is nothing but statistics. Statistics is a disciplined systematic body of knowledge. Nowadays is nothing but the 20th century statistics come into as an important subject. Why? Because of statistics is important subject means the word of statistics is very popular used in different types of applications. That's why the statistics is very important and independent subject in nowadays. The word of statistics is very popular used in different type of applications, different type of fields, different types of sectors. Just very number of fields are available in our society. There are economics, sociology, business, agriculture, psychology, medicine, in transportation wise, and education institutions that can use statistical data. It's an introduction about the statistics. Why using the statistics means now in our society you have the educated people and uneducated people. But educated people, they know what is the position of the organization, what is the status of the organization. But uneducated people, they cannot know they can not understand the position of the organization and condition of the organization, small scale or large scale industries. That's why it's very useful to all common people. They know the status of the organization. These are main uses of statistics. Next, what is the importance of statistics? The main importance of a statistic is, in organization point of view, they can have the different types of documents and different types of departments and different types of activities do in organization. They can control, they can manage, they can control and manage easily. How it is possible means they can analyze everyday transactions, day-to-day transactions. They can observe and analysis that. That's why in organization, production and manufacturing, research and development department, purchasing department, sales department, etc. In all sectors and all departments, they can use the statistics. This is the main importance of statistics in organization point of view. Like that, each and every sector they have the statistics. The next one is definition of statistics. According to Croxton and Cowden, statistics defined as the collection, presentation, analysis and interpretation of numerical data. It is the definition of statistics. In this definition, clearly point out the 4 stages in a statistical investigation. What are that means? The collection of data is the first stage, presentation of data is the second stage, analysis of data is third stage, and interpretation of data is the fourth stage. These are the 4 stages of statistics. First, what is meant by collection of data? Without the collection of data, you can't do any action, you can't do any work. That's why first step is collection of data. It's nothing but collection of information. The independent or a group of people gather the information directly or indirectly. This is the first step in statistical investigation. After that, collection of data, then go to the presentation of data. The organizers, they present the presentation of data. The next step is, the third step is analysis of data. You can collect the data and presentation of data. That particular information give output of decision making. In analysis of data, the person or individuals or group of peoples can take the decision. It's a key point and crucial role play in analysis of data. The last One is interpretation of data. It is very critical to do the work. Why? Because of to presentation of data or collection of data and analysis of data, conclusion, to give the conclusion of this information is a very critical do the work. These are 4 stages of statistics. These are definition of statistics. Once again, I repeat the definition. According to Croxton and Cowden, statistics defined as the collection, presentation, analysis, and interpretation of numerical data is called statistics. The next one, how to collect the data. Collection of data. One is decided what type of subject is to be made. It's become necessary to collect information about the concerned subject. First you decide which type of subject will be selected. Then only you gather the information briefly and clearly. It is a main point to collection of data. After that, for this information has to be collected from certain individual. Directly or indirectly, they gather the information. That particular information or that particular technique is known as survey method. Collection of data can be divided into 2 types. There is nothing but organizations can collect data, primary data or secondary data. Depend upon the situations, depend upon the conditions, the organization can use primary data and secondary data. But what is meant by primary data? Primary data is nothing but only one individual person directly gather the information. They cannot involve a third person in primary data. But what is meant by secondary data? Secondary data is nothing but not individual person involved. In the secondary data, the third person can be involved. The information collected not directly. They collect the information indirectly. Why? Because of here the third person will be involved. Is called primary data and secondary data. Some organizations are used depend upon the situations. They can use primary data as well as secondary data also. This is the collection of data. How many types to collect the data means 2 types of collection of data, that is primary data and secondary data. What are the methods of collection of primary data? Primary data are measures observed and recorded as a part of an original study. I already explained that. What is my primary data? Only individual directly involved and gather the information. It's not they gather the information original. It's not duplicate. It's not a gamble like that. They gather the original data. It also can be divided into 2 types. The primary data also divided into 2 categories. How to gather primary data means one is questionnaires, second one is observation. What is the questionnaire? Questionnaire is nothing but the data are collected by asking the questions. It's called questionnaires. Observation is nothing but the individual person automatically observe the conditions and situation. They can gather the information. Is called observation. These are under category of methods of collection of primary data. The next one is secondary data. I have already explained what is secondary data. Secondary data is nothing but 2 or more persons can involve and gather the information. Is called secondary data. In that also you have the methods of collection of secondary data. Was the collecting agencies. Enumeration was based on the sample. The sample was representative, where the enumerator capable and properly trained. They give the training employees. The next one is proper check on the accuracy of field work. Once you observe these points, the individual cannot gather the information directly. Here the third person can involve to gather the information. But the organizations can also use their primary data and secondary data depend upon their situations. These are the collection of data. Why? Because I'm here explain the briefly means you collect the collection of data. After that, the next procedure will be going on. Without information, you can't do anything. That's why the collection of data is very, very important in businesses. It's not only large scale businesses, any type of business, tiny, small scale, and large scale industries also they follow the collection of data. The next topic is methods of sampling. First, what is the sample? Sample is nothing but the process of used in sampling survey in which is predetermined. Predetermine the large number of peoples is called sample. In that sample, you have the different types of methods. Here, you observe the chart. Methods of sample broadly divided into two categories: random sample method, non-random sample method. Random sample method is nothing but you can select it randomly. Jumble is called random sample. In that you have the subcategories or subgroups in a random sampling method: simple random sample method, stratified sample method, systematic sample method, multi-state sample method. Non-random sampling method. Again, in non-random sample method have the different types of subcategories: judgment sample method, quota sampling method, convenience sampling method. Okay, here you observe the chart. Simple random sample. Simple random sampling is nothing but I am giving one example about the simple random sampling. I take the 1 to 10 students. In the particular 1 to 10 student, I pick the randomly 1, 2, 5, 6, 10. Like that, I pick the randomly. I select simply. It's called simple random sampling. In that you already know the very popular methods, lottery method and table random sampling method. Already know that the lottery method is very popular in our society. Next, table random sampling method also. In that you have the different types of techniques: tippet method, Tyler method. In that the tippet method is very popular. These are the subtopics in simple random sampling. The next one is stratified sampling. Stratified is nothing but the particular population can be divided into subgroups. In the particular subgroups, again they pick the randomly. Once you observe this chart, here the population will be divided into green and red. The groups will be divided subgroups. The people will be divided subgroups. In the particular subgroups, again I pick the randomly. It's called stratified sampling. Next, third one is systematic sampling. Systematic sampling is nothing but the data is available in systematically. In that particular systematic data, I can select variables or people systematically. In the systematical sampling denoted by the kth item is nothing but k is nothing but intervals. The systematic sampling have the calculation. You have the formula k is equal to sampling numbers divided by sample number of n. This is the formula of a systematic sampling. The next one is multi-state sampling. Multi is nothing but preliminary sampling units. Preliminary sampling units. Once you observe the chart, the multiple people can form groups. In the particular groups, I can select the group of people only. Is called multiple state sampling. These are the methods in random sampling method. The random sampling method have the simple random sampling, stratified sampling, systematic sampling and multi-state samplings. The next one is non-random sampling methods. Non-sampling random sampling method, non-random sampling method. In that you have the judgment sampling method, quota sampling method, and convenience sampling method. Here, what is by judgment sampling? Judgment. Here, the investigator give the final judgment of the data or any information. The investigator give the final judgment. They can decide what is right and what is wrong. They give the final judgment, is the final, is called judgment sampling. Next, quota sample. Quota is under group of judgment sampling. Quota sampling is under group of judgment sampling. The quota sampling is nothing but they decide the one criteria. They can select the one criteria. Here I am taking the one criteria, men, female and people. 50 members of people I can choose here. In that 50 members I can select above 50 age of male. That is one of criteria. Is nothing but quota sampling. Next one is convenience sampling. Convenience, depend upon our convenience you can select this people. It's called convenience sampling. It is also called accidental sample. It is also called accidental sample. These are the methods under group of non-random sampling method. These are very helpful to the collection of data. They can easily collect the data using these methods. The sampling methods. The sampling methods can be broadly classified into two types, random sampling methods and random sampling methods have subgroups. The non-random sampling method also have subgroups. These are the helps to the collection of data. They can gather the information easily, use these methods. The next topic is data seriation. It is very useful to calculation part. Data seriation. What is by data seriation? The data arrangement between frequency distribution and general characteristics is known as data seriation. Data seriation, the relationship between the mutual understanding between the frequency distribution and as well as general characteristics. Here you observe the chart. Data seriation on based on general characteristics. Data seriation on based of frequency distribution. The general characteristics divided into three types. The frequency distribution divided into two types. I am explaining briefly general characteristics. They are divided into three types. The first one is time series, spatial series, conditional series. These are the under group of general characteristics. Here, what is meant by time series? Time series, the data are available or arrangement in chronological order. What is by chronological? Is nothing but taking time. For example, day wise, week, month, year wise is known as time series. Here I am taking the one example of taking the year wise data, the sales and selling expenses. The next one is spatial series. Spatial series, the data are arranged in geographical order. Geographical is nothing but area wise, location wise, is called spatial series. Spatial series, here I am taking the area wise, nothing but Rangareddy, Hyderabad, Barangal, Vizag, Vijayawada. These are the areas. It's nothing but geographical data. Like that, the data will be taken here. I am taking the districts and number of educations institutions. The next one is condition series. Condition series, the data are arranged in a length, weight, quality, degree wise. Here taking the data under group of conditional series. Here I am taking the degree. In the degree you have the different types of groups, BA, BCom, BSc. Like that, here I am taking the degree and number of students are obtained the course. These are the methods under general characteristics. The next one is frequency distribution. It's very important in our calculation part. It is very helpful to calculate it. Frequency distribution. In the frequency distribution, you have the two types: ungrouped data, grouped data. Ungrouped frequency distribution, grouped frequency distribution. Ungrouped frequency distribution also called individual series. Ungrouped frequency distribution also called individual series. Individual is nothing but the variable cannot depend on other variable. The data will be individual is called ungrouped frequency distribution. Here I am taking one example for individual series 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. These are the series of individual. The next one is grouped frequency distribution. In a grouped frequency distribution, again they have classified two types: discrete series and continuous series. Here, discrete series. The ungrouped data can be divided into discrete series and continuous series. Let's explain the discrete series. Discrete series depend on the one variable to another variable. Here I am taking one example of discrete series. Weight, I am taking x and frequency is f, like 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70. It's depend upon the frequencies. 4, 7, 12, 15, 13, 5, 4. These are the discrete series. One variable is depend upon the another variable. Next, continuous series. In a continuous series, you have the three forms: inclusive form, exclusive form, open-ended form. In the continuous series, what is by continuous? The intervals or the given data will be given continuously. It's nothing but continuous series. In that you have the inclusive, exclusive and open-ended forms. First I am explaining inclusive. What is my inclusive? Here once you observe the data, I am taking the class intervals here 2 to 6. Actually the continuous series will be continued to 6 to next 12. 12 to 16 like that, but here not continuously. Here we observe the data 2 to 6, next 7 to 11, 12 to 16, 17 to 21, 22 to 26. You cannot calculate this type of data in our problematic. That's why the inclusive data will be converted into exclusive. After that only you can be calculated the problem. The inclusive data will be converted into exclusive. How to converted the data means the inclusive data will be it's nothing but unequal data will be converted into equal data. You have the one formula: the lower limit of second class minus upper limit of first class divided by 2. These are the correction form of formula. You get the value 0.5, the constant value. The particular value will be deducted of lower limit and added of upper limit of each class interval. Then after you get the exclusive form. Is nothing but equal form. Then after only you calculate the problem. In our final examinations or any other competitive examination, in inclusive form will be given, you must ensure the particular given data will be converted into exclusive. It's nothing but unequal data will be converted into equal. After that only the data will be converted and calculated. This is the inclusive method. Next, exclusive form. Exclusive is nothing but the data will be continuous. 0 to 5, 5 to 10, 10 to 15, 15 to 20, 20 to 25, 25 to 30, 30 to 35, 35 to 40, 45 to 50. Like that, the data will be given continuously. This type of problem given in final examination, no need to calculate a correction form. Directly you calculate the problem. These are the methods or continuous series, inclusive and exclusive. The last one is open-ended form. What is my open-ended? Here you observe the chart. I taking the marks and number of students less than 10, 10 to 20, 20 to 30, 30 to 40, 40 and above. This type of given data is nothing but open-ended form. Open-ended form is not a full-fledged class intervals. You must convert it into full-fledged class intervals. How to convert it means, Here you take the observe the second class intervals. How much of value will be differences between 10 to 20? Mean here 10 to 20 you have the 10 value will be difference. The particular value will be deducted. Less than is nothing but 10 less than 0 to 10. Yes or no? 0 to 10, 10 to 20, 20 to 30, 30 to 40. But how to 40 to above? How to take in? Means the class intervals difference is 10. You can above means you can add the particular value will be above 42 plus 10. You get the 50. Like that 40 to 50. It is a full class intervals. After that you can be calculated. This is a very important topic. You must know that this type of topic. Why? Because of it is very helpful to our calculation part. These are the methods under frequency distribution. These are the very important topic, our calculation part. Data seriation, data arrangement between frequency distribution and a certain general characteristics is known as data seriation. It can be divided into two types, general characteristics and frequency distribution. Again you have the different types of subgroups and subcategories. The next one is the particular data will be presented in diagrammatic form and graphical presentation form. Why you can use the diagrammatic and graphical presentation? Means in our society, our people will be educated or uneducated. Educated person will be know the status of the organization, but uneducated person they cannot understood what is the condition of the organization. That's why the organizations can use the diagrammatic presentation and graphical presentation of data. The common person also can easily understand the status of the organization. This is a main motto to use the types of diagrams and graphical presentation. That's why I'm giving one example. Our Bombay Stock Exchange and National Stock Exchange use the graphical presentation. But because in our India, in our society, uneducated and educated persons are there, and each and every common person also they can easily understood what is the present today situation, the organization situation. They get the loss or profit. That's why this is one example of using the graphical presentation and diagramming presentation of data. That's why I'm here learning the diagramming presentation. In the diagramming presentation, they have the different types of diagrams. It's nothing but types of diagrams. In the types of diagrams broadly classified into 4 types. The first one is one-dimensional, two-dimensional, three-dimensional, pictograms and cartograms. These are the 4 categories of types of diagram. Again the particular type will be divided into subgroups. First, what is meant by dimensional diagrams? Dimensional diagrams are those diagrams which show statistical information in terms of length, height, area or volume is known as dimensional diagrams. In the particular dimensional diagrams can divide into one-dimensional, two-dimensional and three-dimensional diagrams. What is meant by dimensional? Dimensional is nothing but the particular statistical data will represent the length, height and area wise. Is nothing but dimensional diagram. In the particular dimensional diagram can divided into one-dimensional diagram, two-dimensional diagram and three-dimensional diagram. One-dimensional diagram is represent the height. Two-dimensional diagram is represent the area. Three-dimensional diagram is represent the volume of the observations. It's a very tricky to easily understood the what is the one-dimensional diagram, what is meant by two-dimensional diagram and what is meant by three-dimensional diagram. One-dimensional diagram is represented height, two-dimensional diagram represents the area, three-dimensional diagram is represent the volume. That's why you can easily identify this which type of diagram is represented. Here, what is by one-dimensional or line diagram? Here you observe the data. You must and should first you know the basic conditions, not conditions, basic rules and regulations of draw the graph and draw the diagram. Means you must and should write on the title of the diagram and write on the what is x-axis and what is y-axis. Use the scale, pencil, and write on the scale in the graph paper. It is a very key points used in our diagram presentation and as well as graphical presentation. In the one-dimensional, you have the different types of diagrams. It's nothing but simple bar diagram. Simple bar is known as they take the only one variable is represented in simple bar diagram. Simple bar diagram is taken the only one variable or number of only one unit of information are available in simple bar diagram only. The next one is subdivided bar diagram. Subdivided bar diagram can take the multi variables. Nothing but you take the number of variables taken in subdivided bar diagrams. Next, percentage bar diagram. Here percentage bar diagram, the percentage is 100. Once you observe the data, you can easily identify the particular diagram will be related to simple or subdivided percentage. Okay, you add the number of amounts in given data, you get the 100 that is related to percentage bar diagram. You can easily identify the data. Okay, the next deviation bar diagram. Deviation bar diagram also called bilateral bar diagram. Deviation bar diagram also called bilateral. Bi is nothing but 2. That's why here once you observe the graph, you have the two charts. One is blue represented and second one is red represented. In the deviation bar diagram, bilateral bar diagram, you get the surplus or deficit here. It is very useful to export and imports. Used in foreign traders. It is helpful to they get the profit or loss easily. Okay, this is a deviation bar diagram. The next one is multiple bar diagram. Multiple bar diagram is only for draw the interrelated information only. The multiple diagram draw the only the given data is interrelated, then only they draw the multiple bar diagram. After that they draw the subdivided or simple bar diagram. Okay, these are the under category of one dimensional bar diagram. Simple bar diagram, subdivided bar diagram, percentage bar diagram, deviation bar diagram, multiple bar diagram is the under group of one dimensional bar diagram is represent the length. Next one is two dimensional bar diagram. Two dimensional bar diagram is represent the area. Is represent the area. Two dimensional diagram. In the two dimensional bar diagram is represent the area is nothing but square, rectangle, circle. Okay, here observe the square diagram, rectangular diagram, here circle. It's a very important. Circle is nothing but pie chart. It is a very useful and this pie diagram is used in number of institutions and number of organizations also. How to draw the pie chart? Means the circle overall total circle is noted at 360 degrees. Here the 360 degrees circle will be divided 4 parts. It's nothing but 90, 90, 90, 90. The total 90s, the 490s is 360 degrees. But in our given data, give the number of expenditure and give the amount. Not given directly 90 degrees, 70 degrees, 20 degrees. They give the amount, how much expenditure spent in particular item. But how to calculate a pie chart? How to convert it in degrees means here you have some procedure to draw the pie chart. Pie chart is nothing but you have the 360 degrees. The particular 360 divided by 100 you get the 3.6. That is the percentage value 3.6. Why? Because of 360 divided by 100 to calculate the 100. That's why the 3 degrees will be converted into percentage. The particular amount will be multiplied with the 3.6 percentage, then you get the degrees. The amount will be converted into degrees, then only you draw the pie diagram. Once I repeat the pie chart. In the pie chart you have the 360 degrees, but in our given data not given directly degrees. They give the amounts. The particular amounts will be translated or converted into degrees. How to convert it here means the particular 360 will be divided by 100. It's nothing but 360 degrees is converted into percentage. It's nothing but 3.6. It's nothing but 360 divided by 100 you get the 3.6. The particular percent 3.6 is multiplied with the amount is converted into degrees. The particular degrees will be presented in our pie chart. This is the amount will be converted into percentage. Then only you draw the pie chart. It's nothing but circle. These are the methods under two-dimensional bar diagrams. Two-dimensional diagrams. In the two-dimensional diagrams, you represent the square, rectangular, and circle. Pie diagram is very popular. It is very useful in each and every institution and every organizations. The next one is three-dimensional. Three is dimensional diagram is nothing but is represented the observation of the volume. It's nothing but you have observed the cubes. So, like that. The next one is pictograms and cartograms. Pictograms and cartograms is very useful in our schools. Why? Because of our children can easily understand the pictures. They can easily understand. They can easily grasp the what is that? What is the particular item? I'll give you one example. In our school age, the social teachers maintain the globe, maps. Is nothing but pictograms and cartograms. These are the pictures, for example, of pictogram and cartograms. These are the types of diagrams. Why? Here using the types of diagrams means the common people also know the status of the organization. The common people also know the use of the and the status of the organization. That's why use the types of diagrams. The next topic is the continuation topic is types of graph. Here presentation of tables is nothing but presentation of diagrams and presentation of graphical presentation. In that graph you have the different types of graphs. Time series graph and frequency distribution graph. Time series graph, it's represent the time. Time is nothing but chronological. You take the year wise, month wise, week wise and day wise is nothing but time series graph. In that again you have the two types, one variable graph and two variable graph. Is nothing but in your given data give the one variable, you can choose the one variable. The next one is a two variable graph. You have the two variables in our given data, you can draw the two variables. Only the related to the chronological, the data is given to the week wise or day wise or month wise or Year wise is related to the time series graph. Here once you observe the time series graph, here they take the month wise and year wise. Next one is it's very important graph used in our organizations is frequency distributions. In the frequency distributions, again you have the four categories: histogram, frequency polygon, frequency curve, Wagyu or cumulative frequency curve. These are very used in our institutions, in our organizations. Okay, what is meant by histogram? Okay, once see this graph histogram. Okay, you maintain here also you draw the graph. Here also you follow the some rules and regulations to follow the graph. Means must and should write down the title of the graph and what is x-axis and what is y-axis, and write down the scale and use the scale and pencil here. Okay, frequency distribution curve. In the frequency distribution, you have the first one is histogram. You have the directly given data. In that you have in the frequency distribution in the previous topics. I can explain. In the frequency distribution, again broadly classified into two types: discrete series and continuous series. In the continuous series also you have the inclusive, exclusive, open-ended form. You must understood the or observe the data. Which type of data is given? Our problem. Okay, inclusive form, for example, the data is given inclusive, the particular data will be converted into exclusive. After that, you can draw the histogram. Now understood? The frequency distribution, you have the discrete series, continuous series. In the continuous series also, inclusive, exclusive and open-ended form. Okay, exclusive form, not any changes, you can directly calculate it or directly draw the graph. But inclusive and open-ended form is given a given data, the data will be converted into exclusive. After that only you draw the graphs. Okay, histogram, you take the here I am take the representation of times and frequencies directly given and take the continuous. Why? Because of this the data is continuous, that's why the data will be or the graph will be continuous. The next one, polygon. Okay, first you write down first you draw the histogram. After that histogram you must and should draw the one line of middle of the line. You must ensure the particular line will be touched to the x-axis. So its condition will be applied here. The particular line will be touched to the x-axis. This is the condition of a polygon. First you draw the histogram. After that you find out the midpoint of a histogram. You draw one line. It's called polygon. It's called a frequency polygon. The next one is frequency curve. Frequency curve is nothing but smooth frequency curve. Okay, here you write down the title of the graph. You take the x-axis and y-axis and write on the scale. Okay, here once I once again remind the topic. Here the frequency distribution, the given data will be given directly. It's nothing but exclusive form, inclusive or open-ended form. Okay, directly exclusive form is given, you draw directly the graph, but inclusive and open-ended form, the data will be converted into exclusive form only. After that you draw the graph. You remember this point. Okay, the next one is frequency curve. Frequency curve also you put the point on the graph, you write on the smooth curve. Don't use the scale in this graph, in this type of method. The next one is Wagyu or cumulative frequency curve. In that you have the less than method and more than method. Okay, cumulative frequency curve. It's a very easy calculation to more than and less than methods. Okay, these are the methods under frequency distribution graph. Okay, why you are learning this topic of types of diagrams and types of graph means the common people, it is a main motto is the common people know the situation, know the status of the organizations. This is a main motto to use the diagrams and graphical presentation. That's why you learn these topics. Okay, now topic is collection of data, introduction, definition. In that collection of data you have the primary data and the secondary data, and methods of sampling. In the particular sample will be converted into numerical data seriation. The particular data seriation is used to calculation part. It is very helpful to calculation part. It is a very key role play in calculation part. The next one is types of graphs and types of diagrams. Thank you one and all giving this opportunity.